Introduction to the quadratic formula. So for the formula, or the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b and c are constants and a does not equal 0, so we must have an x squared in there. This is the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. The plus or minus means that we'll get two possible solutions in most cases, which is what we expect. So we wouldn't usually use the quadratic formula if we could easily factorize. So this one can be easily factorized, but we'll just use it. It's a good idea to note down A, B, and C. It is also a good idea to watch out for negative B's, because of course B's, when they're getting negative about things, would sting you and everything would be bad. The reason I'm saying look out for negative B's, however, is because it can really trip us up with what's happening here. So for example, we start with our quadratic formula. We substitute in our values. Now, negative 5 is 5. Plus or minus the square root of, this is b squared. b is negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. So minus 4 times a times c. Oops, c was 6. Minus 24 over 2 times a is 2. So what this works out to is 5 plus the square root of 1, which is 1, divided by 2. So or x is 5 minus the square root of 1 over 2. Now we can evaluate this. That's 5 plus 1, 6, divided by 2 is 3. Or 5 minus 1 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. So my two possible solutions are there. Usually when we'd want to use the quadratic formula, it's where we can't easily factorize. So this one here, nice easy numbers. I can see that it's 2 and 3, or negative 2 and negative 3 in the brackets. I wouldn't bother using the quadratic formula. It's just useful to get used to it. Here, I can't factorize. The only factors I've got of 3 and 1, of 3 are 3 and 1, and they don't get to 5. That says we've got fractions or probably surds involved. The quadratic formula will still let us solve it. I do recommend writing down A, B, and C. Write your quadratic formula. Substitute in your values. Now, at this point, of course, b squared, that's a nice easy 25. You can just start doing your maths. 4 times 1 times 3, that's minus 12, over 2 times 1 is 2. Simplify as far as we can go. So I've got x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 12 is 13 over 2. That's it. Check if you can simplify your surd. I can't. So the two solutions are negative 5 plus root 13 on 2, or negative 5 minus root 13 on 2. And we leave our solutions at that.